Breaking news, this is a real picture of Hasan captured in 4K right before he goes to jail in the future, very soon. We are going to be covering that on the channel. Everyone's looking forward to it. Leave a like. Let's not forget to be excited to get there. He's currently 660% cooked, and he might be getting sued for defamation by me, and also by a real lawyer, which is honestly a much cooler thing. I'm Jewish, so I have lawyer in my blood based on stereotypes, but real lawyers are getting involved, and this is where shit gets amazing. All right, so before we actually dive too deep into it, I have to remind you something very important. This is incredibly important, very pivotal stuff.
That is dangerous. That's not good. That's not good. That's dangerous.
Let's up those numbers!
Definitely subscribe. Let's up those numbers. My lawyer, Goldstein Scheckelberg, is getting involved, and you are going to jail. But now, you might be aware of certain context. This is Hasan Piker, who has been brandishing a gun on his stream. All right, to threaten people. He's out there brandishing a gun, threatening his viewers, apparently doxing them. It's gotten crazy. This is the actual clip of it. I think it's important for you to see for context. And then we're gonna get into the lawsuit because he is gonna lose everything in court. Also, his beard is graying. His hair is going gray in real time.
It's time to crusade Iran and Gaza. Mamdani communists. Let's go to war against the left.
All right.
In our sincerity and actually delivering for the very
And there he is with a gun.
people who've been left behind in
Nani?
politics compared with
Nani?
what President Trump has been able to do. You know, over the same period of time that I've been running has been I would tell him the last person who couldn't get my name right, we defeated them, and that's what it's going to look like again.
Okay, fair
Notice the serial number plate on the bottom.
enough. As you may
Oh, you
Yeah.
found his account?
Today, I will show you 3 ways you can use
All right. Oh, you found his account, and then he threatens him.
your smart.
Wait, this is the guy?
First thing we want to do is download the YouTube VPN app,
This isn't even the guy, by the way.
which we can do through the first link in the description.
What are you gonna do?
He
bro?
takes his gun. What are you gonna do? He says when he picks up his gun. See, the way I see it, this is important for the context because if it's a real gun, you are threatening a man's life. If it's a fake gun, you are the gayest motherfucker on the planet. You picked up a fake gun and said, "What are you gonna do?" Like, this is literally, it's both ways. Man, lose-lose situation, brother. Either you picked up a real gun to threaten a random guy on stream, or it's a fake gun and you are gay as f.
Write a petition? Let's do a crusade, he says. Let's do a fucking crusade, he says. Let's hang Hasan and Mamdani for treason, he says. The fuck are you gonna do? Go
What the fuck are you gonna do? He says brandishing a gun.
on a fishing expedition? Try to fucking put malware in my phone? Is that what you're gonna do? You skinny bitch. Ugly ass. That's not him, it's this.
Hey yo, dead ass G, my bad pimp.
Then he takes somebody else. Anyway, I am not going to... I showed this in my previous video. In Hasan is 650% fucked. He claims the gun is fake. So, I had a gun nut reach out to me with a fuck ton of evidence that it's a real gun. So, I'm just saying, if you look at the actual gun, this doesn't look like it's airsoft. Alright? It doesn't. It doesn't. Also, no orange tip, right? So, shout out to my gun nuts in the audience. It also, clearly, as I showed you, it does have the gun, the serial number thing on the bottom. It is unlikely that airsoft Glocks would have a serial number thing on the bottom, like this. Because my gun nut homie over here has a Glock, so he's showing me like the side-by-side. As you can see over here, all the things that he circled, like the safety, here's the logo. All right, and then look what he circled in orange. Over here, you have all the shit, the same shit, right? You got the same Glock logo, you got the same safety. All right, to be clear. Now, if you look at the gun, also you could tell that it is a little bit slanted, interestingly enough, and you can see where it stops over here. Same thing over here. You see the curve. You see the curve in the real Glock, right? This has that same curve that the real Glock has. Now, the reason why I mention that is because the Glock is supposed to have the curve. In the 2 photos above, you can see this, when the slide is open, the barrel isn't straight. That's because as soon as the slide begins to open, the barrel drops down. So the circled section on the left can extract the casing from the barrel. So, interestingly enough, a fake gun or airsoft gun would not need this curved barrel when it's actually pulled back. So, I'm just saying, I think Hasan might be a liar and this might be a real gun. This is kind of crazy. So, again, he's claiming it's not a real gun. My gun nuts in the audience are claiming it is a real gun. If you ever want to reach out to me with anything on email, definitely do that. But most importantly, people are now trying their absolute best to say, Moist Critical uses a gun on stream, and no one is upset. Hasan Piker a gun on stream? Not okay, because he's clearly a Muslim. Look at this black man over here, this black Muslim man on stream. Now, the thing is, in my opinion, this is retarded, okay? Bro, he showed you how to handle a gun and explained what clips are and what mags are. You picked up a gun and you threatened someone's life. How on earth are we even remotely comparing this? These are the opposite situations. Oh my lord. Now, interestingly enough, you know, as we know, there are these laws about not playing with guns. So this is Destiny, you know, streamer Destiny, leftist streamer guy. So this is his son. His son was on Twitch playing with an actual toy airsoft gun. Now, you could see it's an airsoft gun because, simply put, it has an orange tip. All right, this is obviously an airsoft gun, and he's playing with it.
Destiny is so cooked.
And this is Destiny's son. This is an obvious toy gun. And he goes out of his room. Oh, Jesus, fuck. I think it's a hilarious. That's a fucking hilarious clip. Now, the point that I'm trying to make is, he was banned. He got a lifetime ban on Twitch for this, okay? To be clear, he got a lifetime ban on Twitch for this clip of shooting a toy gun, all right? Perma banned, all right? Awful behavior as a child to shoot your dad, sure, but awful shit. This is crazy. So he got a lifetime ban for this, and that was a toy gun. Hasan, we don't know if it was a toy gun, and he actually threatened someone's life, all right? No ban, no punishment. All right, anyway, I just thought that was important as a side-by-side. So Legal Mindset makes a tweet. Just to be clear, if Twitch fails to act on this strongly, that opens the door for a host of issues, legal and non-legal. This is just obvious, by the way. All right, this is just incredibly obvious. No shit. Of the second largest political streamers on the platform. He's threatening the life of some random guy. What are we talking about? So anyway, this is a clip from Hasan today. I'm just going to be using this to make fun of him. It's not relevant at all.
How much money would I have to pay you to jump in the pool? Okay, no worries.
I make more money than everyone here.
Yeah.
So he says, I make more money than everyone here. This is the communist Hasan Piker, by the way. Anyway, so I wanted to show you a couple of defamation cases because this has been him defaming me constantly. So we're going to be looking into the lawsuits against him, and it's going to be glorious. So to be clear, this is the first clip. All right.
Bro, my barber's a fan of the blue VTuber, and he got so pissed when I called him a lolly enjoyer. Bro, go to a different barber, dog. Your barber's a pervert. Yeah, you got pedophile hands touching your head.
Yeah, so I think that's slander. Personally, I think that's slander. That is heavily saying that I am a pedophile. That's retarded. Not a pedophile. This is next.
Hide their identities. A lot of them come from like marginalized backgrounds, right? And now you got like fucking lolicon Nazi VTubers.
That's me. According to him, That's me.
Like every fandom, no matter how gay, no matter how queer, no matter how like marginalized it might be initially, ultimately always will have these fucking neo-Nazis show up to it and fuck up.
That's me, the Jewish neo-Nazi.
The bag for everybody else.
And then he goes on a whole 2-minute clip talking about how basically he's obviously talking about me. He reacts to a clip of me. Yeah, so obviously that's slander. Next.
Drawn children's animated pornography.
Not true.
Okay, and has shown to other content creators drawn children's animated pornography. Do you feel or has spent $10,000 trying to get TTS to say the N-word, right?
Also not true.
Like, that's your favorite content creator, someone who defends Israel and someone who may or may not be a pedophile, right?
All right, so I may or may not be a pedophile, according to him. This is absolutely insane. I've never shown or done anything like this, to be clear, all right? What I have done is made fun of cringe shit that came out of Japan, all right? Absolutely. But this is not the same as being a pedophile by any fucking metric. This is slander.
Like, you're voluntarily saying, like, that's your content creator. And
meanwhile, he supports the Houthi terrorists that have child sex slaves.
In this regard. And then you're saying the thing that I've done that you consider to be completely unacceptable is like a satirical fucking a shitty attempt at satire that absolutely was transphobic and misogynistic.
He is referring to his old clips where he said, if she's old enough to bleed, she's old enough to breed. Hot take. This is Hasan talking about when I play a new video game, I like to jerk off to its porn. This is Hasan talking about who knows what. But anyway, not the point, not relevant.
And what I find really funny is like this person, this lolly VTuber guy.
All right, so this is me. Obviously, I'm the guy on his stream right here. That's me. Yeah, so, and he keeps going. So, yes, I definitely have grounds for a slander case. So, Legal Mindset made a couple of videos talking about different insane lawsuits and crazy shit going on in the community. First, in regards to the copyright lawsuit and how Hasan responded. Second, we're going to be having a nice little deep dive in the problem with him brandishing a gun on stream. And third, and in my opinion, the funniest, how Legal Mindset might be suing him for defamation. A lawyer is beefing with him. So lock in, boys and girls. We're watching this man get absolutely obliterated today.
Hasan Piker is crying bias in the Ethan Klein lawsuit.
All right, let's
both
go.
in the system at large and from LawTubers like myself. So we're going to get into that today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is a fast facts premiere, giving you the hot and dirty business in a shorter version, a packed version. If you've been liking these, let me know below. A lot of you guys are new to the channel as well, so welcome, and I hope you love the coverage. My goal is to be objective, entertaining, and give you education about the law. So that's what we focus on here.
Love
but today we have
claims. Oh my God, dude, a lawyer fucking dude, this is my favorite content.
Claims from Hasan that indeed the system and also the lawyers covering it, like myself, are not being objective.
Of
so
course,
I want to get into
all the lawyers are biased, obviously.
Some of his arguments here today, both of those, and we of course have clips to back that up. So let's get into the first one here, where he is talking about the lawsuits more at large in the system. Let's hear what Hasan has to say.
All this while snark subreddits and similar harassment just caused another creator to commit suicide. Yeah, I heard about that. The Fox Sanctuary woman. It's so sad.
Bro, is he comparing the fact that a girl commits suicide because they got hate comments to the hate comments he gets? Bro, you support terrorist organizations. You have spread lies about everyone I know.
I don't know if, and I don't know what the implication here is, whether he's trying to imply that something might happen, but you know, let's continue here.
He is implying, I'll tell you what he's implying. He is implying that people that are criticizing Hasan and his orbit might be killing them.
There's a lot of dead air.
The
with
legal
Hasan.
complaints
that's
are in
Hasan.
California for
He pauses
denims and
forever.
Frogan. Wait, what do you mean?
So this is another point which I think is very interesting is, a lot of people can comment on stuff, but I'm not sure whether he doesn't understand what a legal complaint is or he doesn't understand how lawsuits work. I'm not really sure what he doesn't understand, but it's always very interesting when people decide.
He doesn't understand anything about the law. Otherwise, he wouldn't be openly supporting terrorist organizations. He goes out there yelling about freedom of speech and shit like that, and then he goes out trying to get people banned for everything under the sun. Like, dude, he is the most gigantic hypocrite of all time, bro. And him comparing himself to the girl that commits suicide, that ran a fox shelter, bro. She ran a fox shelter and got harassed on the internet. You support terrorists. You are not the same.
To comment deeply on stuff that they really have no idea what's going on.
Not to be clear, I do not want Hasan to kill himself. That'd be too easy and quick. Anyway, moving on. That was a joke. I was dark, but it was comedy.
Yeah, call it for what it is. He's abusing the legal system the way stalkers do. No, that's precisely what he's doing. But in this circumstance, because the legal system is fucking busted, because the legal system is fundamentally broken, if you have a lot of money, you can do this kind of thing.
To be clear, that's not true. That's not true. It's true that money helps a lot. A fuck ton. Money helps a fuck ton. However, to be clear, you also have to have the law on your side.
When you're depraved and you're manic and you're an insane person and you don't care about like wasting unlimited funds, especially considering that he does technically have virtually unlimited funds, you can be a vexatious litigant.
Let's stop there.
All right.
So pseudo-intellectuals like Hasan like to use big words that they don't understand. The word vexatious litigant does not just mean someone who files a lot of lawsuits.
I pointed this out too.
That is, it's not just that. A
vexatious litigant means it's a false lawsuit. Means it's just a lawsuit to bully people with no actual legal merit.
Vexatious litigant is someone who files lawsuits with no merit.
Yeah!
Meaning they're going to get immediately dismissed. Meaning these are lawsuits with no legal basis. And what you
But you know who doesn't know that? The 30,000 retards in Hasan's chat.
Never hear from Hasan is you never hear him talking anything at all about the legal basis. Now, if he wants to argue that the system is broken, that's fine. And in fact, even myself and other law tubers have admitted that yes, parties with a lot of money tend to do better in court. That is very much true. And we've admitted that and talked about that. And I've been a critic of that when it comes to certain cases like with Walt Disney and the Walt Disney Corporation. That can be a problem.
All right.
But throwing out words like vexatious litigant kind of goes against the rub here because you have to admit that it has merit if you can come up with no legal argument against the case. Not an emotional argument, not a claim of bias, not any other claim. You have to tell me, Hasan Piker, why legally
you have to understand, bro. He doesn't know what he's saying, man. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just yapping, bro.
They will win. Your orbiters will win. And Ethan Klein will lose. Otherwise, it is a meritorious claim. That's a big word you can use now. Meritorious, Hasan.
He's never going to use that word. Meritorious, it goes against Hasan's every fiber of his being. He's too busy supporting terrorism.
So these are meritorious complaints, which are going to get past a motion to dismiss, which is, just to explain for you, for Hasan and for everybody out there, that's the first step. Now, that does not mean Ethan Klein will ultimately prevail. Ethan Klein may very well lose this case. Now, we've said, hey, doesn't look good for Hasan's orbiters. It's looking kind of bad for Hasan's orbiters. I think, in all fairness, the odds are on Ethan here, but they're never 100%. There's always a chance that your orbiters can prevail, whether individually in individual cases or separately. Maybe one of them prevails and the others don't, or maybe all of them prevail. It's possible. It's not 0% chance.
Yeah, but realistically, if you look at the facts of the case, and I don't want to be controversial here, but if you look at the facts of the case, Ethan is suing them for copyright abuse, and they absolutely abused copyright. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, dude, they literally said, watch my video to steal views from the original. They are so giga-fucked, it's like, it's unreal. They don't even know how fucked they are, to be clear.
Ethan is not 100% going to win, but the odds are in his favor. And that's all we've been saying kind of at large, which is very interesting here. But we'll let him talk a little bit more.
And
Operation Let Him Speak. It keeps working.
it's like having a mentally ill stalker who has an unlimited amount of money and power and
unlimited amount of money and power, you say? An unlimited amount of money and power, you're saying?
Jump in the pool. Okay, no worries.
I make more money than everyone here.
Yeah.
I make more money than everyone here. Is that you?
not only does he have an unlimited amount of money and power, he also makes content off of this, so it turns into more money for him.
Dude, what are you doing? You are literally making content off people right now. That is literally what you do for a living.
The line. That's it.
Dude, you blame Ethan for making content off retards stealing his content, harassing him, and calling child protective services on his children. All right? You make content off of a genocide in the Middle East. How on earth can you compare the ethics of your content to their content? Are you actually retarded? And to be clear, the genocide I'm talking about is how Hamas wanted to genocide all of the Jews in Israel. To be clear, that is the genocide I am referring to. Also, there's the genocide that you use to make money every single day. To be clear. Can't believe Hasan would spend time talking about this when there's literally a genocide.
That's what it is. And given the way that our legal system works, given the way that our court system works, given the way that copyright works, there's really nothing you can do about it other than...
So hold on. Hasan himself has just admitted that his orbiters are going to lose. So he's actually admitting, he's saying that's the way copyright works. That's the way copyright works. So he's conceding.
Yo, there's no way. He's like, that's how copyright works. So then you know it's not a vexatious lawsuit. You know it's real. Wait, hold up. That's crazy. Oh my God, the self-report.
That legally they're screwed, which means, once again, Hasan is saying it's a meritorious claim. It's not vexatious, Hasan. We're going to teach you big words, so you can use them in the right way. I want you to use them right.
I love how petty
Hasan.
he is. Oh my God.
Hope that it goes away eventually. Just like cyberstalkers. We do not have an adequate measure against cyberstalking, and just like stalking in general, we don't have
cyberstalking? Cyberstalking? What are you talking about? What, making content off of content creators? What are you even saying, bro? How is this cyberstalking? Right, you want to know who's really cyberstalking? All right, let's search Asmongold on Hasan's channel for just a second. Really, bro? Really, dude? Oh my lord. Dude, really, bro? Really? This is searching Asmongold on your channel, my brother. I just searched the word Asmongold. This is just searching the word Asmongold on your channel. Really, dude? Okay, cyberstalking.
Let's stop right there, and we're going to stop this clip right there. So there are cyberstalking laws. In fact, many states have cyberstalking laws. Now, you can argue they're not robust enough, but to say they don't exist...
He has no idea what he's talking about. In fact, to be clear, laws are more like guidelines for Hasan. You have to realize...
non-existent, that's not true. They are indeed existent. Now, they may not be as intense as Hasan wants them to be, but if you go too far with cyberstalking statutes, they can silence free speech. And they would...
Obviously, that's what they would do. If you refer to criticizing a public figure as cyberstalking, then you're retarded.
Be a violation.
Doxing the guy on stream and then threatening him with a gun, I would say that sounds like cyberstalking.
Of free speech protections. So if you went too far, you're going to push against that. So that's the balance here, Hasan. Now, I think Hasan seemed like he leans on the side of silencing free speech, right? And on the side of making cyberstalking really high, but that's a delicate balance. That's a very delicate balance. So,
well, I mean, he supports he supports Hamas. You know what Hamas does when people protest them? They murder them. You know, Hamas murdered 12 Palestinians today. This was in the news. Not that anyone cares, because Hamas was the ones that killed them. So Hasan didn't cover them on his stream. You know that Hamas killed 12 Palestinians today in Gaza? No one cares. No one cares. No Jews, no news. That's Hasan Piker's motto.
That goes to the systemic arguments that Hasan made. But Hasan didn't stop there. And he made these comments, and Nicholas DeOrio, who actually had an amazing stream, I popped into that one, had some comments about Hasan's thoughts about LawTube.
Right.
Because he's talking about the LawTubers and our coverage. And LawTubers, the general LawTube sphere, people like myself, Ian Runkle, Uncivil Law, a lot of us have commented on this, and pretty much all of us have said, yeah, you know, the claims look like they have a prima facie basis. They look like they're going to get past the motion to dismiss. They're going to get the discovery, right? That's as far as we can say, okay, looks pretty good on that. But none of us have said, hey, Ethan is 100% going to win. It's a shoe. And none of us have come out and said we're pro Ethan Klein. As I've said before, I could care less about Ethan Klein, and I could care less about the Orbiters. I care about the law. But let's hear what Ethan has. Let's hear what Hasan has to say about the lawsuit and our coverage.
It's legal YouTubers and free speech people are extra quiet. No, I think there's some legal YouTubers who have covered it, but they're like pro Ethan.
Pro Ethan!
No, they're just telling you the fucking facts of the case.
Oh my God.
What are you saying? Oh, dude, I'm sorry. They're compromised, dude. They're pro Ethan.
To cover this with me,
dude, the lawyers are all compromised.
On Israel Palestine.
It's the Jews. It's the Jew cabal. Obviously, the lawyers are all controlled by the Jews. We all know this.
Which they are not. It's legal YouTubers and free speech people are extra quiet.
So this is great. I let Nick's comments just go to it. You know, we are just commenting on the facts. We're commenting on the law, right? If you want to say the law is pro Ethan, all that says that means his side has more legal basis. And I would love to have more legal commentary and have somebody to, you know, spar with.
Bro, there's not going to be any legal commentary on the other side, bro. Obviously, there's no legal commentary on the other side. They just stole the content. I think this is literally it's a dunzo. They're cooked. They're like actually cooked.
Intellectually debate with the law on the other side. If people want to say these legal elements are more pro Denims, Frogan, and now we have Sean the Black coming in, Casey Tron. If anyone wants to bring up legal points, I'll be happy to analyze those and look at those, and I'll be happy to give them a fair, objective consideration. However, emotional arguments, claims of bias, claims that we don't know enough about Israel and Palestine, that has nothing to do with this lawsuit. This lawsuit has nothing to do with any political element. It has to do with copyright. And we're going to keep it educational and objective on this channel. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you on the next.
Yeah. That's crazy. Anyway, so it gets wilder. So here he's talking about the facts of the case in regards to the gun shit, which I think is more pressing, honestly. And then we're going to look at his actual defamation case. All right, let's go.
Twitch has a brand new Hasan problem, and
Let's
this one could have
go,
huge
dude.
repercussions, both legal and non-legal. We're going to get into that today. Of course, on the Legal Mindset,
right.
we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and I'm bringing you this fast facts premiere, a quick and dirty version, while I'm once again on a short vacation in lovely Phuket, Thailand. So another hotel room, another place, but still bringing you the freshest news. So make sure you like this video if you like the fast facts versions.
All right,
so let's get
see
right
what we
into
got.
it. Twitch has always taken a preferential stance when it comes to enforcing its guidelines, or at least it, when looking at its terms of service, has not always applied those equally to all groups and people. And one of the people that gets the most criticism for this, and that many folks across the board have said is the really recipient of a lot of the benefit of the terms of service without the burden of punishment, has been one Hasan Piker.
Dude, you don't understand. You don't understand. It feels like an actual coming-of-age story. Here I was, fighting the good fight, talking about how Hasan Piker is a degenerate shitbag, and suddenly, all of a sudden, all it takes is a couple of months, and everyone's on the train. We got Asmongold on our side. We got lawyers. We got Twitch doing everything they can, bending over backwards in pretzels to suck Hasan's cock. All right, dude, the Twitch Trust and Safety team have unlatched their jaws to get Hasan's schmeat just a little bit deeper down. And it's so obvious. It is so obvious to everyone in the world. Oh my god.
Now, today, there was an absolutely extreme incident which really points out the problem for Twitch in having this unequal enforcement involving Hasan,
let's go.
and how this can have legal consequences. This is involving him swinging around what appears to be, and that's the very key here, legally and overall, what appears to be a weapon.
All right, that's the point, right? Because intimidation laws, that's a good point. It doesn't even matter if it's a real gun or if it's a fake gun. It appears to be a real gun and he's threatening somebody. That's the whole story. Intimidation laws don't matter if the gun is real. It matters if it looks real. He's so right.
So let's take a look at the video, and of course this is video that I found over on X, which highlights this incident. So we'll take this clip here and give some commentary as we go.
It's time to crusade Iran and Gaza. Mamdani communists. Let's go to war against the left.
So so to give you some background here, it appears there's a chatter in his chat who is made a bunch of comments. Obviously, these are comments that are not fitting with the vibe in the crowd of Hasan's chat.
I disagree, actually. I personally disagree. I think it is fitting in the vibe actually very well. Obviously, it's unhinged shit. But Hasan's chat is unhinged shit all the time. Like, they want Hasan to be hanged for treason. Alright? That's what they want. That's pretty wild. Hasan's chat wants you to just murder any random Jew. Okay? That's my hot take. My hot take is, this is the least unhinged chatter in Hasan's chat.
Obviously, for any of this...
I mean, we do know what Hasan's moderator said, right? We know an actual Hasan moderator has said this shit. Let me find this for you.
So by the way, the Hasan moderator has been completely exposed as a 47-year-old who makes sexual comments about high schoolers. They just searched his name. It seems like it's not that complicated. So yeah, he locked his account. This is some comments that he's made in general. Stop pretending what Elias Rodriguez was bad. Who's Elias Rodriguez? Man charged with first-degree murder? Wait.
The guy that shot 2 random Jewish people in Washington, D.C. Right, this is his moderator.
Wait, so this guy's literally advocating for killing random Jewish people.
Correct! And this is not just a chatter in Hasan's stream. This is a moderator in Hasan's community. So you could kiss my left nut if you want me to say that this guy that's saying hang Hasan for treason is worse than all the unhinged shit you see there. All right, I agree. This is diabolical. I would ban this guy in my chat for sure. But I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, dude. You're retarded. Not legal mindset, Hasan.
He would have the ability to block and or ban this person. Of course, every single content creator retains the right to ban people out of their chat for whatever reason. Some people are more permissive, some people are more restrictive. That's really up to the creators on their platform. If they choose to ban people for anything, that's up to them. We wouldn't be here today if this was just a block and ban incident, which once again, I think there was plenty of grounds for him as a creator saying, hey, I don't want this person here. And some of this language was even pretty extreme, saying hang Hasan for treason. Yeah, that's pretty extreme. And you know what? Blocking and banning someone for that would be called for.
Personally, I think Hasan should go to jail for treason. I don't want to see him hang for treason. I just want him to be in prison for treason. Like, I think of the content, I think of the people, I think of how funny it would be.
If someone came into my chat or anybody else's chat and said that about that creator, yeah, they would probably catch a ban.
Yeah, I'd ban
They would
this guy.
probably catch a block and a ban, and possibly a report, a broader report. But the response...
Listen, this guy, he hates communists a little too much. He popped off a little too hard. Listen, it happens to everybody. Happens to everyone.
That Hasan gives here is not proportional nor appropriate to these comments. Let's play this.
In our sincerity and actually delivering for the very working people who've been left behind by our politics.
So let's
if you want me to show you the full context of this video, I actually went back and watched his actual stream. It's in the Hasan Piker is 650% fucked. I'm here for the legal analysis.
Clear. He's gone and retrieved what appears to be a pistol. Now, many people have pointed out it could be airsoft or it is airsoft or whatever else. The key here is that it appears to be a real weapon. I'll also note, as someone who played airsoft for like 8-9 years as a kid, I had MP5s, I had pistols, I had a sniper rifle, even an airsoft sniper rifle.
Goddamn. That's an American. That's an American.
You're supposed to have an orange tip or a marker on the end of an
Correct.
airsoft.
I said the same thing. Yep.
That would be not a typical airsoft to lack that marker or remove that orange tip, even though, of course, some people do that. Some people make it more realistic. But the key here, and this is a key that is not just in analyzing this for Twitch terms of service, but also broader for the law, is that you can make a physical...
Personally, Hasan getting banned from Twitch would be very funny. It would be very, very funny. But I don't care. I do not care. Don't care. I want prison. I'm sorry. Everyone's at fighting ban. Oh, ban him. Oh, ban. Oh, I don't give a shit about it. Prison, baby. Also ban him. But mostly prison. That's what I'm here. I don't care what you want him for. Provide material aid to terrorist organizations. You can do that. That's fine. That's a pretty reasonable reason. We got Pokemon Showdown drama. All right. Or as other people call it, he's a communist. I don't know why my brain went there, but he is a communist. All right. You could get him for the Communist Enforcement Act. Listen, man, McCarthy rolling over in his grave that this guy's on Twitch.
Threat. You can make a threat or try to intimidate somebody with even a fake weapon, with a fake knife, with a fake gun, with a fake bomb. If you were going to try to hijack a plane and you attempted that with a fake gun, it would not be material in terms of your defense. You would not be able to say, oh, but, well, it was fake, so I couldn't do it all along. You know, when you get caught and arrested and thrown in jail, you don't get off because, oh, it was fake. No, you would lead a reasonable person to believe that was real, and a reasonable person could have fear of that knife, gun, bomb, whatever, despite the fact that it's not objectively real. So that's a defense a lot of people brought up, and I don't think that stands up. Let's continue.
Compared.
See, I said it before, I'll say it again. This is literally a win-win. If it's real, he threatened someone's life with a real weapon. If it's fake, it still appeared to be a real weapon, and also it's gay as fuck. Picks up a fake gun and he says, oh yeah, you want to mess with me with a fake gun? Come on, bro. That's the most pathetic ass shit I've ever seen. LARPing a revolutionary every day. Dude is an actual terrorist LARPer. It's crazy.
With what President Trump has been able to do, you know, over the same period of...
And he points it at himself like, dude, do you realize if this shit would have gone off, bro would not have children? Like, we were this close to ending the family line. Do you understand? Do you understand? Dude, even if it was airsoft, bro, that shit would hurt so much.
Time that I've been running has been tell him the last person who couldn't get my name right, we defeated them, and that's what it's going to look like again.
Okay, fair enough.
Once again, brandishing the weapon, flaring it around. Obviously, there's a point to this. Obviously, there's an individual who this is directed at. Yep. You know, this is something that's not really ambiguous in the general intention.
As you may...
Oh, you found his account?
Today, I will show you 3 ways you can use your smartphone.
So here's another crazy thing about the doxing. So now you've paired, so you've linked up brandishing a weapon, what appears to be a real weapon, whether or not it is, whether it's an airsoft or whether it's fake. You've paired up brandishing a weapon with doxing, which is revealing their private information, which, by the way, in certain jurisdictions, in certain places in the world, is illegal.
So, I just to be clear, I don't think I saw a lot of people saying this. I don't think this constitutes as doxing because his Twitch account was connected to this YouTube account, and I don't think that this would constitute as doxing legally. According to Twitch's terms of service, doxing of any kind is prohibited on Twitch community guidelines, even if the perpetrator only exposes information available via the public record. So, I do think this counts as doxing according to Twitch's terms of service. I do not think this counts as doxing legally. That's just my hot take, because it was literally connected to the Twitch account that he put into stream.
So you've done...
Like it was, you know. This ended up being a different guy, which is ironic. But, yeah.
2 things which are potentially illegal. There's the brandishing, the threats, the intimidation, and then you've got the doxing, right? So you've got 2 separate things you're now doing together. So that this is combining to make it even worse.
Wait, this is the guy?
First thing we want to do is download the YouTube VPN app, which we can do through the first link in the description.
Bro.
Fuck are you gonna do, bro?
Bro, I can't believe he said, what the fuck are you gonna do, bro? And he picks up a gun. Oh my god, he's so retarded. It's unbelievable.
Oh?
And of course, I do like the pop-up there just explaining that this is clearly against their TOS. This is something that is not, you know, holistically, both the doxing and the threatening is, of course, against the Twitch terms of service, right?
Write a petition? Let's do a crusade, he says. Let's do a fucking crusade, he says. Let's hang Hasan and Mamdani for treason, he says. The fuck are you gonna do? Go on a fishing expedition? Try to fucking put malware in my phone? Is that what you're gonna do? You
Oh, that's
skinny
beautiful.
bitch.
Oh, that's beautiful. He literally laid it all out there. He laid it all out there. To be clear, again, if you want the context, he then later goes on this whole rant about how this guy's a white supremacist and shit. And you should definitely watch my video how he's 650% fucked.
To be clear, nothing that Hasan said would be necessarily impermissible. He could say all those things. He could call them, I believe his technical word was a skinny bitch, all he wants. That would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah, but he said, what the fuck are you gonna do about it while holding up a gun? What are you talking about?
Yell at this guy the whole night, scream at this guy the whole night.
Oh.
The problem was the weapon combined with the doxing.
Yeah, no. Yes, he didn't directly say, I am coming to your house to kill you. All he did was brandish a gun and said, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? Yeah, true.
Right? All the other stuff he could do. That's his show. He can run it how he wants. That wouldn't necessarily be against TOS to just yell at the guy the whole night and make fun of the guy. That's fine.
Well, actually, that's not true. You're not allowed to bully people on Twitch.
Do it your way, not what we do on my channel. But hey, he can do it on his channel all he wants. But with that, you open yourself up to a bunch of problems. Yeah. And Twitch is opened up to a bunch of problems.
All right. Oh my God. How is Twitch culpable, bro?
Now they've got to decide.
Oh, dude, I keep winning. I do nothing, win. This is the Nux life. Do nothing, win. It's not easy.
What they're going to do with Hasan. And in the past, they've only given him slaps on the wrist. That is, they've given him 1 day or 24-hour bans or sometimes 12-hour bans. And that's been all they've done with him.
That's crazy.
But now we've got a serious problem because we've got a situation in which if he is not banned for this, this opens up this behavior for others. Oh. So it opens up this behavior, these threats for other people, which can bring...
Bro, I wonder what would happen, what Twitch would do if like Tectone did this shit. Dude, they would nuke him from orbit.
On what appears to be real weapons, knives, bombs, and dox people, threaten them.
Wait! Ice Poseidon was banned on Twitch because someone in his chat paid money to get his stream to say, I have a bomb. And he was banned permanently on Twitch for that. For someone in his chat paying money for the text-to-speech to say, I have a bomb. And he got permanently banned. Obviously, there was no real bomb. So the toy gun excuse does really not hold water at all.
And here's the problem for Twitch. They open themselves up for not just losing advertisers, which is a big non-legal issue. Not just looking bad.
I don't give a shit about Twitch's advertisers. They already don't have advertisers.
It's a brand, because obviously nobody wants to be the platform in which people are openly brandishing weapons and threatening others and doxing them.
It wasn't a TTS donation. Someone swatted him at the airport. Wait, they banned Ice Poseidon because someone swatted him at the airport? That's crazy, dude.
Not good for a platform, but you open yourself up to illegal consequences as well. Now, obviously, many people know the breach of contract route. And there are arguments in terms of breaching the contract between the creator and the platform in terms of banning somebody for one type of behavior, whereas you don't ban somebody for another. So you don't ban Hasan for this. But let's say another creator...
I mean, but again, Twitch has already proved that their enforcement is incredibly lopsided. I don't know how that gets them into legal issues. Like, unfortunately, their terms of service is so fucking broad. Like, their terms of service is so broad, they can do whatever they want. And they will always ban the people they don't like.
Creator is banned for this. well, there might be a cause of action open up there. Now, there's a lot of challenges with that. That's a difficult one. But one that's even more interesting and one that is really untested, and in fact, there may be many people looking to test this, is a consumer type action under a private right of action. Every state has their consumer laws, and those laws are sometimes very, very strong. And one thing they protect against is unfair and deceptive practices. And it indeed is a very strong case to say it is an unfair and deceptive practice to benefit some people while punishing others.
That is crazy. Okay, so I just thought that they were unfair, but that's wild. This is some SAG shit. True. Yo. Right, it's deceptive business practices that you're gonna see someone be waving a gun around on stream threatening someone's life and see they don't get banned for it. You'll be like, oh shit, I'm gonna build my career on Twitch doing that exact same thing. And then you get banned for it. That was a very deceptive practice. It really was. God damn.
Because this bias, for example, Hasan bias, is not disclosed anywhere. It's not given out in the terms of service.
Right. It doesn't make it clear that, well, obviously we're going to be biased to every completely retarded, radical, left-wing, nutcase, lunatic, nut job who supports terrorist organizations. They don't say that anywhere. So you think that you could go to Twitch and do what the people on Twitch do, but you can't unless you're specifically sucking terrorist schmeat. If you're not doing that, you will get banned.
When you read the terms of service, nowhere does it say everyone will be punished except for Hasan Piker. Everyone will be banned except for Hasan Piker. Or,
that's crazy.
For example, if you want to be more broad, everyone will be banned except people who share Hasan Piker's political beliefs or affiliations.
Honestly, true. I didn't even think of this as deceptive practices, but I could totally see that. I feel like you have way too many examples where people were not banned for having radical left-wing ideologies. Like, for example, when Frogan said all American soldiers deserve PTSD, which is absolutely saying derogatory things to a protected class. Without a shadow of a doubt, she never got banned for that. She literally said that. So I could definitely see it as a deceptive practice. You think that there are laws on Twitch and rules that you could follow, but it turns out you can only follow the rules if you are a radical left-wing nutjob terrorist supporting fuck. That's crazy to consider that deceptive practices, but I could totally see it.
Or associations. If that was disclosed publicly, then fair dues, then you can do what you're trying to do.
True,
of course.
Then they can do whatever they want. It's a private platform, right? Twitch could say, we're a private platform. We host radical left-wing nutfucks. That's what we do here. If they would say that, no problem. But by the fact that they have rules and they only enforce them specifically on people that aren't radical left-wing nutcases, that does look like deceptive practices.
Advertisers may have an issue with that, but legally it wouldn't be as deceptive. But now you're deceiving the consumer.
Dude, how many people on Twitch threaten Trump's life? How many people have put bounties on people's heads? And suspiciously, all those people are radical left-wing nutcases that are not banned on Twitch. All of them. God damn.
The people that are consuming the content, that are expecting that their favorite content creators will not be banned, and then seeing them get banned, and deceiving the creators themselves by lulling them into a belief that they can stream on your platform safely and do what they want, just like
Think about it. Look at me. I'm just a guy that wants to make content on the internet. I'm just a simple guy that wants to make content, and I gave and devoted my entire life to making content on Twitch. And then I realized, oh my god, I can't do the things that the Twitch streamers are actually doing, because if I do, they would ban me. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm a simple man. All I wanted to say was that American soldiers are awesome and great, and I hope they kill every terrorist they find, and they ban me? Diabolical.
But then they're ultimately punished, and they're punished for a much longer period of time. They're losing a much larger slice of revenue, memberships, subscriptions, etc., affiliate deals than Hasan. So you're able to point to that and say, I have damages because I am being banned.
You know what? Oh my god. I'm just realizing this in real time right now. I used to stream on Twitch. I have 300,000 followers on Twitch. You know that? I used to stream on Twitch. I moved all my streams to Kick. Literally when they were doing this whole anti-Semitism shit and they were glazing terrorists on the platform. I fell for the deceptive practices. I could actually take them to court over this exact thing that he's saying. I built a channel there and I literally left. I could have been streaming this whole time on Kick, building my platform somewhere else. I could have been streaming this shit on YouTube all along and making my platform there. But I picked Twitch to be the platform that I decided to build my career on the fake idea that they would actually enforce their policies equally. I am a victim of their deceptive practices. This is crazy. Oh my God, I didn't even think of it. Someone in my chat mentioned it. You're completely right. You're completely right. I built a channel there and I don't use it. Oh my God.
And for 7x, 10x, 30x, way longer than Hasan, and I can bring this private cause of action for an unfair and deceptive practice on the part of Twitch. And there's a lot of folks that may be opened up for that. So looking at this, real big problem, and would be even a bigger problem if there was a real incident where somebody got into an altercation where there was a threat made like Hasan and then somebody responded with force. We saw the case of Sin City Manny in Las Vegas, the streamer that responded to taunting and threats of other streamers. People are not beyond responding with violence, particularly in America.
Dude, and any case of violence that happens on Twitch, you could always be like, yeah, but Twitch didn't ban Hasan for it, so obviously violence is okay. Ooh.
That is something in 2025, that's something that could happen, and God forbid that do happen, would be the absolute end of Twitch as a platform. What do I see them doing? They've got to do something against Hasan.
They're going to ban Hasan for 24 hours on Sunday.
Hopefully they give him a longer term ban. More
jail! Turn him over to the cops! Turn him over to the police. We have one right over here. He's a communist terrorist supporter. We don't like him at all. He's a retard. Take him away. Please, please. Elon, buy Twitch. Please buy Twitch. All right, I know you want to start a new political party in America. That's retarded. No offense. But buy Twitch, please. Please.
More than just 24 hours. But unfortunately, Twitch has been known to be very light on its favorite golden boy. But let me know in the comments below what you think about the whole situation, and what do you think?
All right. So then apparently Hasan responded to Legal Mindset and defamed him, ? This is why I wanted to actually look into this, mostly for this. I just needed the full context. But all right, dude, I'm ready. I am so ready because he defamed me too. He is a defamer in chief. And one day he is going to face the consequences to his actions. And it's gonna be so good. He's gonna FAFO. He's gonna FAFO. The FAFO is inevitable.
Hasan has slandered me, committed.
Yes! Sorry, I'm Legal Mindset. I know I shouldn't be happy that Hasan slandered you. By the way, Hasan slander, I have gathered so much evidence that it actually affects me. I have seen so many tweets everywhere repeating the Hasan slander talking points. Like, it is crazy how widespread that shit is just because he said it.
Some defamation in response to my reaction to what was going on with Twitch and the situation with Twitch. So today I'm going to respond to that publicly, clear up some of that misinformation, and also talk about some hot water that Hasan may be in.
Oh, dude, please. Class action defamation lawsuit. Oh, God. Oh, me, you, Asmon, Gold Tech Tone. There's an entire fucking community of people that have been defamed by this motherfucker at this point.
Legally in the state of California. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. So typically, my policy overall with defamation, with people that engage in defamation, is just to ignore it, is to pass it by, is to really pay it no mind, particularly if they're smaller channels and smaller people, really to ignore that at large. However, when a channel of
I generally do also. There are so many people that make hate videos on me just repeating the same talking point slop over and over again, misrepresenting it in the worst ways possible. I just told this story on a previous video. I literally spoke to a YouTuber, and the YouTuber was like, hey, I heard of you. Aren't you the guy that that apparently is like doing lolly porn? And I'm like, what the fuck? It all comes from Hasan. It's brutal. It's actually brutal. And then, you know, obviously he looks into it and he gets back to me. Oh, hey, I found out it was all lies. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Very cool. Love that. No, but it's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy how easy this shit is to propagate.
1.7 million people spreads false information about yourself, clearly not having watched a single one of my videos or really knowing much about me, it seems, other than what the most deranged antis might try to cook up. There is some need to respond to that. And also, there is a need to bring up some very real legal trouble that Mr. Piker may be in.
Dude, I was literally waiting for that. Come on, Hasan. Keep pissing off the right people. Keep doing it, baby. Keep pissing off people until eventually you piss off the wrong one. And like, Hasan is a gambler. He is a liar, and he is a gambler. He's a gambler that likes to take little risks and little bets and fight little people and slander them in little ways at a time. But eventually, it's gonna catch up. In fact, do you know the definition of the word piker? Did you know that piker is a gambler who makes small bets? Did you know about that? You're living up to the name, baby. You live it up to the name. I appreciate it. Thank you. No, this is great. This is good shit. Let him keep fucking with more people. Absolutely.
Regarding California, especially as some individuals look to come against him. So first of all, we're going to start by reviewing the defamation itself, and this does come in the form of a video which I have right here for you guys. And this is Hasan kind of responding to his chat and talking about me and why he's not going to review my videos.
Okay, let me answer that question. He's not going to review your videos because he doesn't review any videos critical of him, okay? He does not review a single video that's critical of him. He only reviews videos glazing him or attacking other people because he can never, ever introduce his echo chamber of retards to another perspective, literally ever. That's why he doesn't debate people, aside from Ethan, because that was the whole big public thing. And he doesn't debate people. He doesn't react to people that criticize him. He is a disingenuous fuck that will do his best to not... I did not see this clip. I don't know what he's going to say. I bet you he doesn't call Legal Mindset by name. I bet you he does not call Legal Mindset by name. He's going to have a nickname for him, that just like he never named me. Do you know why? Because he's so afraid that people in his audience will find you. That's why he'll call me the Blue Lolly VTuber and shit like that. I bet you he's going to do the same thing.
And I just want to start out by saying I love the fact that you're going to see immediately how he jumps to ad hominem, because ad hominem were personal attacks.
That's what he does every time. To me also. Every clip I showed you about him defaming me, he never ever engages any of my points. He's always just skips straight to slander. All the way to slander. Oh, you're mentally ill, Zionist, mentally disabled, pedophile, retard, rapist. That's literally his move.
When used as a debate strategy or when used to rebuke someone, actually represent a concession. That actually means you are incapable of making a legal argument or an objective argument or an informed argument or in any sort of educational argument.
Yeah, he's a retard.
You're simply trying to discredit someone personally to get around the fact you lack the capacity to actually argue. And so I actually don't take offense to that. I'm very used to it, having been on the internet for years now.
Dude, after Hasan has basically made 1,000 hours of propaganda why you should be killing every Jew you find, personally, I don't take offense when Hasan insults me. It really sucks on a defamation level that other people believe shit that he says just because he says it, but his actual insults, I could not care less.
Get into this video and the thoughts by Mr. Piker.
All right, let's go.
Dude, there's something so funny about people being like, dog, have you seen the Legal Mindset video about you? Dude.
Wow, he even mentioned him by name.
If I were to cover every Rumble lawyer, fake lawyer that actually...
Fake lawyer? Oh, well, first of all, let me make this clear. By the fact that he mentioned Legal Mindset by name, it is perfectly clear that I am the one and only Blue Voldemort. I am the only one he doesn't mention by name. He mentions everyone else by name. Why? Is he so scared? He's so scared of little old me, little animated me. He is terrified. He has slandered me 1,000 times. Okay, this is an exaggeration, but every time he doesn't mention my name. That's amazing.
So let's stop right there. Okay, so Rumble lawyer is very...
Fake lawyer? Oh my God, dude.
Interesting. And I think he may mention Rumble again. While I do have, I guess, still a Rumble account, I haven't uploaded it to years. I don't stream on Rumble. I only stream on YouTube.
All right, so that's just misinformation. Rumble lawyer?
Primarily as a major platform. I've tried the others. I don't like them. Rumble, just as a comment, initially offered a very good package contractually to stream on their platform, good advertising packages. That fell off way back towards the COVID days. So yeah, that's kind of a weird thing. Now, fake lawyer is...
No, it's... you don't understand, sir. You don't understand. It's discrediting you because who streams on Rumble? The right-wing people that are too based for YouTube, all right? The right-wing people that are a little too controversial. You know, the Alex Joneses, the Nick Fuenteses, the Sneakos. Like, the people that are a little bit too controversial for YouTube, they all end up getting banned on YouTube and moving to Rumble. And most of them are conspiracy theorists. So what Hasan is saying to his audience by calling you a Rumble lawyer, it is immediately putting you in that framework. It's so much meaner than you think. All right, it's not just calling you a Rumble lawyer because, oh, hey, he's some little nobody on Rumble. It's because it immediately, in people's minds, places you with Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes and Sneeko. All right, actual, really wild headcanon people. All right, that is who he is putting you with. All right, it is really obvious that that's why he said it. And I, without a shadow of a doubt, believe that to be the case. Like, to be clear, let me just show you an Alex Jones clip. Let me show you an Alex Jones clip. Just to understand why perhaps he is on Rumble. All right, so this was one of his shows recently where he explained the origins of the Star of David.
Bring up Star of Rimfim. No, it's the Seal of Solomon. And it's even worse than all the idiots out there say it is. They just never get it right. It's the seal of Satan that seals the demons in. Now, it's similar to it, and Tex Mara's really smart. He tells it may have been the Star of Rimfim. It doesn't matter. It's in the Bible and in the other ancient texts.
It's not in the Bible. Star of David's not in the Bible.
That it's the seal he came up with to seal the jinn in.
This is the plot of the anime Magi. This is not... I don't know.
That he was using to control things in black magic. Oh. And it's Jewish mysticism. Right. So yes, the Star of David is not the Star of David. It is the seal of Solomon that seals Satan.
Yeah. So anyway, obviously, so this is the type of guy, all right? This is the type of guy that Hasan is doing his best to put you in the same community as, all right? This is the same exact guy that he is putting you in that community. He's like, when he calls you a Rumble lawyer, that is why he is calling you a Rumble lawyer. And let me just show you another common retard on Rumble. Hold on. Another one of those beautiful retards out there. God, I love me some beautiful retards. Let me see if I can find this one. All right, we found it. Check it out, baby. Check it out, baby. All right, so this is Nick Fuentes, another dude on Rumble.
We're in a holy war, and I will tell you this. Because we're willing to die in the holy war, we will make them die in the holy war.
This is him talking about killing the Jews in a holy war.
We're in a holy war.
Right, so anyway, so again, this is where he's putting you, okay? So when he says you're a Rumble lawyer, he is associating you with these guys. All right, let me make this clear. That is exactly why he's calling you a Rumble lawyer. It is the most disingenuous, dishonest way to immediately frame you as a bad guy. All right, that is exactly what he tried to do. And I'm sure that this was communicated to a lot of people, but I don't think the people in either my community or Legal Mindsets community knows exactly how sinister and mean it really is.
Interesting, and I want to throw out here that that's possibly the most defamatory thing. Now, I want to give
the most defamatory thing he's talking about is when he said he's a fake lawyer. You can't call a lawyer a fake lawyer. That's retarded. That's actually retarded. Because not only is it defamatory to call him a fake lawyer because it's untrue, but it's defamatory because it hurts his whole career. You realize he has a YouTube channel called Legal Mindset, where he analyzes different things, like legally, where he does legal analyses of different internet cases or real life situations and stuff like that. If you're calling him a fake lawyer, you're attacking his entire brand, his entire name, and people would not take him seriously if he's a fake lawyer. Calling a real lawyer a fake lawyer when their career is being a lawyer is incredibly dangerous.
Mr. Piker some credit here because perhaps he knows nothing about me or knows nothing about the law. Well, clearly he knows nothing about the law or what words mean.
It's also accusing him of a crime because if you are faking that you are a lawyer, that is criminal too. So if you call someone a fake lawyer, but he's calling himself a lawyer, then that's also criminal. It's also gay as fuck.
Here is anybody with a law degree, whether or not they're licensed and practice law. So anybody who's gone to law school is indeed a lawyer. Now, attorney is someone above lawyer. You could say that word is perhaps not
Super
interchangeable,
lawyer.
but similarly related insofar as they are not only a lawyer, not only do they have a law degree, but an attorney has to be licensed to practice in their state. I'm licensed to practice in the state of Florida. So I am both a lawyer and an attorney above that. So thinking about that logically as a little bit of education, all attorneys are lawyers, but not all lawyers are attorneys. So there you go, Mr. Piker. That's the language. So that statement is indeed false, right? That I am a quote-unquote fake lawyer because I indeed possess a law degree from the University of Florida. So that statement in the future would be defamatory. And with Mr. Piker, we do have to remember, and with myself and other figures, is that we are all public figures. So we follow the New York Times versus Sullivan standard. We have a higher standard for defamation than the normal private individual. So now that that's been clarified publicly for Mr. Piker, and that he will well know that information is false and defamatory.
Yeah, bro got lawyered in real time.
To continue to do so would perhaps incur liability.
All right. So again, let me. I think this is what it's trying to say here. All right. When you are actually getting sued for defamation, you have to prove three things. One, that his statement was false, that it was actually slander. Two, you have to prove that it was done with malicious intent, which is super hard to prove in America. And three, you need to prove damages. All right. These are the three things that you need to prove for defamation cases. So calling him a fake lawyer, that's done. But now that he's debunked the fake lawyer claims, if he does it again, then you have proof of malicious intent. Now again, damages, whatever. I could argue that I definitely have been damaged by this, and I could also prove malicious intent because in this clip is literally him reacting to me saying I'm thinking of suing him. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this clip is literally him reacting to me saying that I'm thinking of suing the guy. And despite that, he doubles down. Mr. Hasan, in case we're
went on
right here,
CNN only hours after the shooting had taken place to make incredibly slanderous statements about me.
I don't remember him making any slanderous statements. You call me a pedophile. That's slander. All right, so since we have on tape that he heard me saying that it's slander, if this is ever repeated, malicious intent is proven, Mr. Hasan, in case we're
Also, aren't VTubers supposed to have like cool voices?
And then obviously he doesn't want to repeat it because that opens him up to lawsuit, so he makes fun of my voice. Incredibly based. I have a cringe voice. That's life. Ah, yes, the well-known Jewish neo-Nazi VTuber. Yes, true. Yes, based. 100%. Yeah, 100%.
On the part of Mr. Piker. But let's continue to see what he has to say about me. This is fun.
Like a fucking right-wing freak that spends
right-wing freak, a lawyer,
most of their time talking about like trans people.
So that
what? Well, no shot he went there. Oh my God.
That's very interesting. So I will say this. Most of my time talking about trans people, the issues I have been covering lately have been the Ethan Klein lawsuit, have been Johnny Somali, have been Vitali. Now, unless you are counting something with Somali or Vitali as a trans issue, which I would struggle to understand how that would fit in, then yeah, that's not at all what my content has been about.
Is it possible that he thinks you're somebody else? Is there some lawyer on Rumble that talks about like trans issues? Like, is that possible? Is it possible he just mixed them up with a different guy? Like, I know Hasan's retarded, but he's not that retarded, right? Right? Wait, hold up. Is there a Rumble fake lawyer that talks about trans issues a lot. Yeah, no. No! However, his search results do mention a relevant case involving a Twitch streamer, Hasan, who called out Rumble content creator Legal Mindset. He labeled him a fake lawyer. Oh, no. Oh, Lord. Damn, that is crazy. All right, cool. Love that.
For the past years. So very interesting thing. Also, I keep politics out of my streams, and it's particularly over the last year, 6 months, definitely last 6 months and a year, I have endeavored to keep my streams as objective and educational and make it a environment where everybody is welcome. Even people who like Hasan Piker are welcome in my chat, so long as they are civil, so long as they keep the conversation from violating the terms of service of the platform, because I indeed do care about abiding by the terms of service of the platform.
Hasan doesn't care about that. He currently has Twitch's trust and safety team's jaw firmly latched onto his penis. He does not care about the actual terms of service. He does care about going to prison, which is why my content is only going to get better from here. Let's up those numbers.
You are welcome in my chat, whether you're right, left, center, whether you're apolitical, whether you don't care about politics. It doesn't matter at all to me. I care about the law and educating people on the law. That's the core of my channel. So let's continue.
I would lose my mind. I would have no time to cover anything else. I get it. A lot of you are drama perverts, okay? And you nut when you think about the prospect of drama. But I'm not.
I will say,
I love this man. He is, dude. This has got to be the craziest projection of all time. Did I show you how many times he's uploaded videos about Asmongold? Did I not scroll through that literally today?
I actually do not like drama, and in fact, on my channel, I try to avoid drama. In fact, even in carrying out my behaviors, I try to make sure that I am focusing more on the legal aspects of things rather than the dramatic elements, the interpersonal problems, the stuff that people did. I try to focus on the legal elements of a story. Now, sometimes to get to the legal elements, you have to give background, you have to give context, because things don't make sense in context, without context. However, yes, I would agree with Hasan that I don't like drama, but what Hasan tends to define as drama, and what it appears he's defining as drama, is anything that disagrees with the things he's doing.
People are looking into this and noticing a lot of interesting things. I do love to hear that. Very true, yes. This feels so good, man. This feels so good. I feel like I've been fighting this fight alone forever. Oh, God.
So, by somebody saying...
Bro, Hasan, they tried to disappear me at the airport. Piker is the most dramatic person on the planet, all right? And I'm not gonna lie, the normal people are starting to realize you don't need to be these weird autistic retard VTubers to start talking about this shit. Oh my God.
What you are doing is...
I don't care about drama. You pedophile, rapist, mother killer, fake lawyer. It's like, bro!
Objectively risking lawsuits, it's objectively wrong. Or, for example, saying that, hey, your orbiters, Denims and Frogan, they're going to lose under copyright infringement. Here's the explanation of the law. Apparently, that's drama, to objectively educate people on the law.
Again, Hasan doesn't even believe the things he says. You have to understand, because I've been paying attention. I've actually watched his politics streams to cover them. All right, I break apart his political shit in the How Fucked Is Hasan Piker franchise. Do make this clear. I've done deeper dives into this retard than anyone else. And I say that because he does not believe the things he says. He says them because it's propaganda. He does not believe what he actually says.
That's a new definition of drama to me. And I don't know what you guys think, chat.
Going to pay any mind or any attention to some fucking psychotic MAGA lawyer, not a real lawyer, but a passport bro.
Bro, how does he keep doing this? Passport bro? Passport bro? Dude, you literally go to brothels in Germany. What are we talking about, passport bro?
So, okay, that's real interesting. Once again, he repeats the defamation, saying I'm not a real lawyer, which is indeed wrong. And it's interesting, and MAGA, of course, don't bring up politics. That I've never talked about that.
I have never seen him talk about politics, and he's a friend of mine.
At all recently at all. But beyond that, passport bro is interesting. Because the definition of a passport bro is typically someone that would visit a location for a short period purely for sexual purposes.
Yes, it would typically be that. Actually, now that you mentioned it, yes, it does typically sound like that.
And for anybody who knows anything about me, I'm a long-term resident of several countries in Asia. I've been a resident of the Republic of South Korea, the Kingdom of Thailand, the Philippines.
Remember when I said that everything this man says is projection? Every time he calls someone else a pedophile, it does sound a little projecty, right? Every time he calls someone else a rapist, it does sound a little bit projecty. Am I right? Am I right?
And Japan. These are all wonderful, amazing countries, and I do help people obtain legal visas and legal residence long-term in these countries because they appreciate the culture, the lifestyle, the quality of life, the peace, the safety, the tranquility. These are amazing things about living in Asia. And another amazing thing is that, unlike America, and this may be surprising to Hasan, it is not as easy to get away with being an illegal migrant to these countries. So if you try to illegally migrate to
one of the reasons why they're so fucking peaceful. Anyway,
Japan or Korea, very good luck to you, sir, because likely you will end up in the cell next to Johnny Somali, aka Ramzi Khalid Ismail, if you try that in Korea. It's not gonna go well for you.
All right.
So I would insist that perhaps the only person that perhaps between the two of us.
Dude, I love how he does this every single time. Every single time. Well, I'm telling you it's projection. Like, dude is an actual serial projector. Like, dude, he will call Asmongold a rapist, or Tectone a rapist, and Asmongold a pedophile, and me a pedophile. Only one of us visits brothels in Germany that had at least one child in that brothel. All right? Only one of us has been to Diddy parties, to be clear.
Would be a passport bro is the individual who visited Berlin solely for the purpose of going to a brothel.
He killed him. Oh, God. Keep cooking, lawyer, sir. Keep cooking. Diabetes, thanks for the 5 subs.
That's neither here nor there.
No, I think it is here. I think every slander is a secret admission with this motherfucker.
Let's continue.
Who offers fucking...
God damn, he killed him.
Courses on becoming a passport bro who primarily fucking streams on Rumble.
Neither one of those things are true. I do not have a single course on becoming a passport bro, and I do not primarily stream on Rumble. I only stream on YouTube. So, yeah, there we go.
This is
Why
crazy.
do you guys come in here and ask for this stuff? It's never going to happen.
And that's the great point. I'm going to leave it right there. It's never going to happen because Hasan lacks the capacity to actually address real issues and to actually respond to legal or objective arguments because he's incapable of doing that. Not only because he's not a lawyer, even a non-lawyer can make an argument, can make a policy position, can say this should be this way for XYZ, but because he needs to discredit others by ad hominem in order to try to win an intellectual argument. And frankly, that's at the lowest level of argumentation. But one thing he really can't argue with is the law.
Yeah.
And in fact, there's a California law, which was pointed out by a California lawyer friend of mine, where that shows that he may have violated this statute, 653.2. involving electronic cyber harassment. So this is the statute which reads, every person who with the intent to place another in reasonable fear of his safety. So if you have the intention to scare somebody else, to place them in fear of their safety or the safety of that person's family by means of an electronic communication device, a computer or a cell phone, without the consent of the other person, and for the purpose of imminently causing that other person unwanted physical contact, injury, or harassment by a third party, electronically distributes, publishes emails, hyperlinks, or makes available for downloading personal identifying information, including but limited to a digital image of that other person, or an electronic message of a harassing nature about that other person, which would be likely to incite or produce that unlawful action. So he put out that photo, and he engaged in those actions with the intent to instill fear in that other individual. So that individual could look into contacting California law enforcement, could look into that pertaining to Hasan, and take action thereby. Very interesting and something for him to worry about.
Yeah,
but
that's crazy.
Of course, only if he addresses the real issue.
Yeah, no, dude is racking up these fucking cases. Holy shit. Bro is racking up the goddamn legal shit. I'm telling you, bro, it's only a matter of time. Bro's gonna be in prison. It's gonna be beautiful. He's gonna be there. 1000% fuck. I'll cover it. Subscribe, up those numbers.
Issues. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one.
That is crazy, dude. Oh my lord. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Oh my lord. That is crazy. Holy shit. Sheesh. Yeah, so Asmongold says that the sex trafficking thing was debunked for the Artemis brothel thing. That's not true, actually. It was there were allegations of sex trafficking. Largely the raid was due to tax evasion, but there is a fact, one child that was sex trafficked through there, and someone ended up going to prison over it. Like, for example, after a trial lasting more than a year, this guy was sentenced to 7 years in prison in Berlin on Friday. The former Frankfurt football professional, Hells Angel rock star, used drugs and beating to subdue his girlfriend, who was underage at the time of the crime, and sent her to work as a prostitute. Right? The regional court found him guilty of aggravated human trafficking. Pimping, coercion, robbery, bodily harm. 26-year-old former goalkeeper pretended to be in a romantic relationship with a minor, forced her into prostitution with cocaine and alcohol. You can only be my girlfriend if you work for me. That's the norm with the Hells Angels, he said. According to the indictment, the minor had to work as a prostitute in the Berlin brothel Artemis to earn money for allegedly planned future together. So, obviously, that shit's not the most ethical of places. Again, I know that, yeah, that's... So, again, I don't know. I don't know the full truth. I don't know the full truth. I don't know the full truth. I do know that he went to Germany to a brothel, though. That's pretty fucked up. And, listen, I have no idea. I have no idea what isn't true, what is, fake news and what's not fake news. All I do know is Hasan Piker went to brothel in Germany. And most prostitutes aren't treated super well for a very progressive man like Hasan Piker. But anyway, god damn. Legal Mindset fucked him. He cooked him. He really cooked him. And I think Hasan needs a good couple more cooks. Yeah, this was beautiful. I'm glad lawyers are getting involved. I'm glad he's defaming more people. The more people he defames, the better for me. Class action defamation lawsuit. Gonna go crazy. Yeah, he's cooked. All right. Anyway, I'll see you the next time he decides to fuck his life up. Stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.